Hello, everybody. The Friendly Weirdo is back, and we're going to do something I've wanted to do for a while, and we're going back to fanfiction readings and reactions. Today, we're going to take a look at. Hold on, sorry, I forgot to share the screen, and there we go. Now, we're going to look at the fanfiction "Lincoln is Dumb" by Mr. Tie Dye here. And this fanfiction is one of those parodies. It's a parody of the Lincoln is leaving after no such luck type of fan fiction. And boy, this one is a doozy and in the best way possible. I love this fan fiction and I've wanted to read it to you guys for so long. So without any further delays or ado, let's do this. Okay. Lincoln ambled down the stairs and through the dining room with his hands in his pockets and a contented, I think content, it's probably content, smile on his face, intent on fixing himself something for lunch. From his laid back posture and his relatively pleasant expression, you would probably guess that he was pretty happy living in the loud house. But you would be wrong, for beneath that faux cheerful exterior was a raging maelstrom of anger, of angst, how do I say anger? Angst, bitterness, and outright hatred built up from years of mistreatment at the hands of his 10 careless, awful sisters. Sure, he got along better with some of them than others, but what they all had in common was a feeling of thinly veiled disdain and contempt for their only brother. Occasionally, they try to mask that disdain by doing nice things for him, like telling him he's perfect the way he is, or buying him a cereal that he really wanted, or writing, choreographing, and performing a rock song about how awesome he is, and convincing his favorite rock band to join it. I didn't actually watch that episode, but oh man, oh, it's so good. Lincoln wasn't fooled though. He could see right through them as if they were bathing in Windex. That sounds dangerous, as a quintessential songwriter of our time would put it. I don't know who that is, but I'll take his word for it. Deep down, all 10 of them were Tumblr feminazis who were going to cut his dick off and sacrifice it to Valerie Solanas. I don't know who that is. Is that the person who chopped off John B's dick? Or I don't know. At the earliest opportunity. And he knew that to be true because of the time they got into a fight and stole his blanket or something. What? I haven't watched The Loud House in such a long time. I don't even know half these jokes. Um, all he needed was one slight, one trigger, one spark to set off the powder keg of indignation resting inside of him, and he would explode. In fact, that's exactly what was going to happen to him in just a moment. You see, when he opened the refrigerator door, he expected to see a delicious, sweet onion chicken teriyaki sandwich that he had been saving for himself for the past few days. So he wasn't fixing his lunch, he was just going to get it. So that's wrong. Instead, he was aghast to see an empty space where his sandwich once was. He slammed the fridge door shut and darted his eyes across the room in search of any pernicious, pernicious sister, whatever, who could have absconded with his culinary delight. Lo and behold, there was Lori, the worst of the lot, with a plate covered in crumbs and teriyaki sauce on the table in front of her. You know, she could have asked her whose that this was before he took it out of the fridge. That's just a dick move on her part. I don't blame Lincoln for getting mad. Lincoln's reaction was instantaneous. His face turned from a pale peach to a raging crimson. His teeth started gnashing together. The geysers of steam came gushing out of his ears and nostrils, emitting a whistle comparable to that of a locomotive. Laurie, more than a little perturbed by his reaction, decided to ask him what the problem was, which proved to be an unwise decision, since as soon as she opened her mouth, Lincoln went off. Laurie, you fucking bitch, you ate my fucking sandwich, you cum guzzling slut. Jesus Christ. This got the attention of some of the other family members, Lynn Sr., Lucy, and Lola to be exact, who all stopped what they were doing and ran down to the kitchen to see what was the matter. Laurie again tried to respond to Lincoln and was once again cut off when Lincoln jumped onto the table, started hooting and screeching like a baboon with rabies. This is why I hate living here, you cockmonger. All you ever do is shit on me like I'm a toilet at Taco Bell. I love the imagery in this thing. It's hilarious. Lincoln, enough! Cried Lori, who was already starting to grow tired of Lincoln screeching. Look, I'm sorry I ate your sandwich, okay? I didn't know it was yours. I mean, you could have asked. I mean, it's not that hard to ask. He lives there. Oh, bullshit, you dick jockey. Who else in this family eats sweet onion chicken teriyaki? What? Everyone. It's the best sandwich anyone's ever tasted. I don't know about that. I don't eat that kind of stuff. So, let her in the comment section. Is that good? Sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Is that good? Sounds good though. This predictably didn't placate Lincoln one bit, though he did agree that there has never been a sandwich as delicious, and the rest of the family was too stunned to reply, so Laura decided to try a different tactic. Look, if it means that much to you, I'll give you $10 so you can buy yourself another sandwich. I'll even let you keep the change. Oh, really, Lori? Snapped Lincoln. $10, huh? Will $10 be enough to pay the hospital to fix my soul after you tore it out and raped it? Oh my God. Lori, completely flummoxed by this line of questioning, could only respond with a prolonged, The answer is no, Lori. No, it fucking won't. It was then that Lynn Sr. finally decided to get off his ass and act like a parent for once in his godforsaken life. Lincoln Loud, he stated sharply, cutting through the crowd and staring him down as he marched into the kitchen. That kind of language will not be tolerated in this house. Then I'll leave, he shouted. I'm sick of living with slutty slut. Oh my God. And her 9 evil henchmen. Oh, this is great. He then stomped his way out of the kitchen, shoving past his flabbergasted sisters and parents as he stormed to the living room. As he neared the front door, one sister decided to try and coax him to stay. This would prove to be the worst mistake she ever made. Wait, did he get any, does he have like a suitcase or something or any of that bullshit? Because if he's going to be leaving, he's going to need some shit to carry or use. Lincoln, Lola cried out, chasing him across the room. Lola. Oh, that's one of the things of this and those fan fictions that I never get. Why, if you're trying to present Lincoln as a sympathetic figure, would you have him beat up a 6-year-old? Like, I know Lola's a bit of a bitch, but like, she's not even the worst, like, little sister character in media. I mean, I think she's actually pretty entertaining myself, but like, I don't think beating up a 6-year-old is really going to get anyone to sympathize with, even though, unless it's probably Sarah from Ed, Edd n Eddy or any of that. Anyway, Lincoln whirled around 180 degrees and roared his little sister's names with all the ferocity of a wrathful god. That god should be capitalized there. As he roared, the entire house started rattling so violently it threatened to break free from its foundation while the lights flickered on and off and bolts of lightning rained down from the ceiling. Lincoln then tore off his shirt and his entire body started erupting with muscles. Bigger and bigger he grew, spouting 3-inch thick pecs and cannonball-sized shoulders. Oh, so he used the Scott Snyder method. That's impressive. As his stomach solidified into a diamond-hard 8-pack. Oh, got a bit of Tony Neeson there. Impressive. Then flexed his bicep. He then flexed his biceps, which exploded into bowling ball-sized shoulders. One of them displayed an animated tattoo of Lola being run over by a freight train, and then hanged, and then shot repeatedly with grenade launchers. Oh my, that's oddly specific. Lola got the feeling that it was a pretty good time to run and try to make a break for it. But it was too late. Before she could take one step, Lincoln hammered her in the head with his powerful fists again and again and again. His punches gradually picked up speed until they were being thrown at the speed of an average minigun, all while the defining cracks of all the bones being pulverized echoed throughout the house. Eventually, the punches slowed to a stop, and by that time, Lola was reduced to a bloody, amorphous pile of mush on the carpet. Lincoln let out a sigh of exhaustion and shrank down to his normal, non-ripped size. Now, if you'll excuse me, he said as he walked back towards the front door, I'm going to leave you all behind and buy a one-way ticket to Kyrgyzstan. Off Wiedersehen. I don't know how that's pronounced. Lincoln, what? Lincoln, wait, said Lucy without even bothering to raise her voice past its normal level. Sadly, her desperate plea went unheeded as Lincoln stomped out of the house in a huff and slammed the door behind him. Lincoln, being the shrewd planner that he was, chose the Central Asian Republic of whatever the fuck is Stan as his new home for one reason. His family would never be able to track him down. He reasoned that there was no way for them to find a country that they couldn't even spell. Unfortunately, he failed to account for Lisa, who could spell whatever the fuck is Stan, since she's a scientist, and being a scientist means knowing absolutely everything ever. But I digress. The family members present were left in awed silence as they took a moment to contemplate why Lincoln decided to throw a massive temper tantrum and how they would ever get by without the melodious sound of his kvetching or echoing throughout the halls of the house. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming that just means yelling or screeching or complaining, whatever. While all this was happening, Lana bounded downstairs. Was she upstairs the whole time? As the commotion got her attention. As she, as soon as she reached her living room, she was met with the horrifying, nauseating sight of her twins' bloody, pulsating remains oozing all over the floor. Mortified, she opened her mouth and screamed, "Mom, Lola's messing up the carpet." Jesus Christ. Author's nose. I don't know if I think I don't know if that was on purpose. Wow, this was a long time coming, am I right? I'm so glad I'm finally getting this out of my system. I mean, Lincoln's sisters are all a bunch of stuck-up harpies, and they deserve to get punished for it. Except Luna, of course, even though Lincoln made fun of her in this fan fiction, but whatever. Oh, I loved writing that last scene with Lola. It made me so giddy inside to imagine her getting brutalized, and shame on you if you think that's even a little creepy or psychotic. Also, Faye, follow if you think that Bobby should totally dump Laura and hook up with Luna instead. Okay, so like as you can clearly see by that, that was just totally sarcastic and just a parody of like all those other accounts that try and do these fan fictions, which a lot of them do, and most of them are not that good because they all just copy each other. So that it was the first chapter, and throughout the coming weeks, I will be reviewing the other chapters. There are huh, there are 5 other chapters of this. 5. Five. So that's something to look forward to because I love this fan fiction and it's entertaining as hell, and you should all go and read it. Says me. And I know more because I'm on YouTube, and that means I know more than you. I don't make up the rules. I'm sorry. So, with that being said, enjoy, and I'll see you again next time.